Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to a special edition here from live from Santa Anita. It's the Pick Six preview show for tomorrow, where we have a carryover of over $68,000, and that pool could reach $500,000. I am so lucky to be joined by two fascinating individuals, and we're going to get to them. First of all, we're going to have our friend from DRF, Gino. Welcome to the show, Gino.
Georgie, always ready to join you anytime you call out the help from the bullpen. I'll come right in and help you out. And then this is such a great time to be a racing fan because Saturday night is when they draw the fields for the Kentucky Oaks and the Kentucky Derby. So everybody is really excited right now. The next couple of weeks in the field in the world of horse racing, tons of fun.
Tons of fun, and we have Oldie here. He's a host analyst for Equine Edge. Welcome to the show, Oldie. First time I ever talked to you. I'm looking forward to handicapping the races.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun, George. Thank you for having me. I was going to give the signal for the left-hander here for Gino to come in here.
There we go. Bring him in. Bring him in.
All right. Yeah, great weekend this weekend. Next weekend, of course, is the Kentucky Derby. We'll have a Kentucky Derby show on Friday as well. Next Friday, we'll be handicapping the Kentucky Derby and some races here at Santa Anita. And of course, you guys, you're not relievers to me. You guys are starters. So hopefully we'll get you guys on that show as well. All right. Race 4 starts the Pick Six tomorrow, and a pretty challenging sequence. I put together a ticket it was like $240, and we'll see, where it goes from there. But let's start in race number 4. They're going a mile. $5,000 claimer is always sort of a tough race, and we're going to start with you, Oldie. How do you see race number 4, and how many do you think we need to use?
Well, I think the question is, will they be walking across the finish line at this point? Because we have a bunch of horses that really don't like to win. And I thought this race was pretty open, so I spread here a little bit. On top, I used Devil in the Bluegrass and Precedent Luke, that they were, I would say marginally better than the rest of the field in my mind here. Devil in the Bluegrass for us is both the top win percentage and top Scotty pick, which is one of our algorithms there, even though the horse is 0 for 4 with 3 second place finishes at the distance. My long shot here was, well, not really a long shot, was 7-2. So Acero, the 6 horse here, who, has been going back from dirt and turf here, will be second time going a mile, was just claimed, and has some efforts that I think are good enough to be significantly better than this group. So those were 3 of the 4 that I landed on. The other one was our second pick, Dazzle the Command, the 4 horse, by a horse that should be running pretty late there. Galvin's training. We have it as 8-5 on our own version of the morning line called the morning line.
All right. Well, much like you said, these horses in this race, my wife thinks I'm a lot like these horses because she thinks I don't like to win. It's not that I don't like to win. She was like, do you ever win? What's going on? You don't like to win?
Do my best.
Gino, tough race to start off the sequence. What do you think?
Equally as challenging as picking a winner, who's even going to be favored in this race, right? I mean, if you told me that the 1 Devil in the Bluegrass, that the 4 Dazzle the Command, that the 6 Acero, that Precedent Luke, any of them, I wouldn't be shocked if they went off favored. Even a horse like Fast Service, if that horse got bet a little bit off the win last time out, and Bruiser, all of those horses are coming off wouldn't shock me in here, but none of them stand out at all. I know, George, you talk about sheet numbers a lot of the time. The 4 Dazzle the Command is a horse who you would imagine fits really well because drop down to the level after facing way tougher. So now second time at the level, that race came back very slow based on buyer speed figures. So I don't know if that's necessarily a horse I want to key in on right back. So yeah, I'm probably going to be spreading out using combinations of a lot of the horses I mentioned. I actually put the 10 on top because at least we know Bruiser can pass some horses, which and I'm not sure how many of these late are going to be wanting to pass horses. The 9 comes off of a nice effort last time out, and the 7 on the opposite end of the spectrum has speed. So those 3 will at least be in the mix for me, 7, 9, and 10. But George, yeah, good luck in this race.
Yeah, good luck. I used as many as I could, and the Thorograph numbers. That's pretty much my whole handicapping revolves around Thorograph numbers, and of course, basic handicapping. And there's no clear cut edge on any of these so I'm not getting any help from the Thorograph numbers. In my personal ticket, which is $240, I'm using almost every one you mentioned: the 1, the 4, the 6, the 7, and the 9.
Yep.
I didn't use the 10 that you like on top, but he certainly could win. Just broke his maiden. Maybe the light bulb turned on. But this is certainly a spread race for me, with my top pick being Devil in the Bluegrass, who but comes in here from Turf Paradise. So I don't even know how strong those Thorograph numbers are comparatively here to Santa Anita.
Yeah.
But tough race to start off the pick 6. Let's move to race number 5. Hey, we got some good horses here, Oldie. They're going a mile, maiden special weights. They're not that bad. You got some decent ones. Let's start with you though, Gino. How do you see the 5th here that also starts the all turf pick 3?
If you played the 5 We the Hobby on March 23rd in that race, that was a disgusting beat because We the Hobby was on the front end all the way around, did all the dirty work, put away the 4 in this race. Hello, Kiddo. And then just got nailed late by a horse who kind of split horses and just was not even in the picture. That was a sick beat. And it was going a little bit farther, 1 1/8 miles. I just feel like We the Hobby now gets the cut back, second start off the short break. I feel like you look at the prior races last year, they're actually pretty solid. And I think can sit off the pace a little bit if need be. Like if the 9, for some reason, less is more, wanted to get aggressive, stretching out from that sprint race last time out, I think the 5 could sit second and probably get the jump on the 7, who will be the horse that they all have to hold off, who will be closing late. This could be the type of race where I might lean on the 5 as a single in some spots, because if not, I'm going to go 4, 5, 7, 9. And I think they're all kind of slight, like not too far separated, but I do like the 5's advantage, having speed and maybe being able to get the jump on a lot of them. So probably leaning on the 5 in this race, Georgie We the Hobby.
All right. Certainly could see that one being on the lead, or really, like you said, real close to the lead, maybe right behind the 9, less is more. So, I watched some replays as well, making sure. And the best Thorograph number is number 7.
Yep.
Kiku Ride. And Kiku Ride, if you go back and look at that race, I mean, she was ultra green. I mean, just almost throughout the race. And when she finally figured it out, holy cow, did she come flying late. It certainly
and a
looked
huge
like
gallop out too, George.
I saw the gallop out. Yeah.
Monster gallop out. That was going 6. So you just expect the extra distance should help.
And did, again, I mean, it doesn't mention it anywhere, but did brush early and then was really green, really super green. And acts like a runner that's going to appreciate the extra distance. I'm singling Kiku Ride because the other ones are kind of evenly matched for me. Same numbers with the 4, the 5, the 6 even. So you got to take a stand somewhere in these pick 6s. And if JJ Hernandez keeps the faith, so do I. How do you see this race, Oldie?
I see this race a little bit differently. So I think that this race is pretty wide open. I'm going to give you another horse that you just mentioned a minute ago, but my top pick here is the other second-time starter, the 6 Big Hottie for Mark Glatt. Second time Glatt, first race back off layoff, 23%, 24% second-time starters. I like the stretch out here from 6 furlongs. The horse is working nicely. And, you look at the 5, 4, and 9. They are combined 0 for 20 between the 3 of them. So, could I use and spread there? I could spread across those horses as well. But I really think it comes down to the 7 or the 6 here. And I'm getting a better price on the 6 at 8-1. It's the Scotty Long Shot here. My morning line tool says that it should be 5-1, not 8-1. And, I just think that this horse might be a little more tactical, might sit a little better of a trip here in a race without a ton of early speed. And I think that this could be the horse that catches the 5 late in the stretch, like the 5 seems to get caught every time here.
Yeah, certainly scary and Glad. How about we got some serious trainers here in SoCal, but Glad winning. Glad has what a year in the last year. Glad has been doing fantastic, and I could I like the 6 as well. The 6 and 7, they're not proven losers.
Beautifully bred, the 6 for the turf too.
Yeah. But I mean, Clubhouse Ride is bred to go long, bred for the turf. I like Hikarai, and again, I think it could be considered a wide open race, but you got to single somewhere in these things, so might as well single there. Race number 6, we're gonna move on to race number 6, and in this race, I'm spreading as well. I'm gonna kick it off. I like the 1, the 4, the 6, and the 9, and I'm certainly going to be using the 11 if the 11 gets in. Love Our Family. Love Our Family has thrown in some really sharp thoroughgraph numbers on the dirt. On the grass, not so much. So last time I put a line through that, the other grass race, line through that. But on the dirt, the last few dirt races, first, second, a third in there, 10 on the thoroughgraph numbers, a 10, and 10. The next big number is number 9. Big Celebration has been getting good numbers, and Steve Knapp is good first off the claim. So I'm going to try to spread in this race as well. I like 1, 4, 6, and 9, and I'm definitely, if the 11 gets in, using the 11. Love Our Family. Oldie, how do you see this race that starts the late pick 4?
You're right that you got to single somewhere, and in this case, I'm singling in 2 places. But this is where I'm going to single, and this will be a single that probably will surprise you based on the price and the horses you mentioned. So I'm going to single the 2, Smile Baby Smile here, who we think has a significant pace advantage on the front end here, going a mile, and has shown a little bit of an ability to rate as well against similar fields. So my goose isn't cooked if the horse doesn't get the lead, but I think the horse gets a lead, gets to an easy lead, and is able to hang on and will just win. I'm going to say by a head in this race, but enough with a 10-1 morning line there and a 13% on our win percentage line to single there and be able to spread and pull value elsewhere.
Well, all right. Very aggressive single for Oldie. If that one wins, I'll be, frown baby frown for me.
Nice.
I'm not using that one. But Gino, what do you think about the 6?
We send in some DRF formulator facts every day to the Santa Anita for the 6th race every single day. So there's always a couple that we're looking at. One of them was the jockey trainer combo of Smile Baby Smile. If you look at Andy Mathis and Aguilar, how they've teamed up over the last year, they've been really good, winning a couple races together at nice prices. And like all of the horses have been running in the money, including this horse a couple times already has run 2nd and 3rd. The one that, George, I was a lot like you. I was 1, 4, 6, 10. I actually threw the 10 in as a total wild card horse trying the dirt for the first time because nobody in this race really scares the heck out of me. And I think some of the form for the 10 on the grass is actually just as good as a lot of what these horses have been doing on the dirt. And I could see the 10 kind of sitting 3rd from the outside, getting a nice trip in there. So I'll just throw the 10 in as a wild card. Another stat there, Richard Baltis with the layoffs like this, 61 to 180 day layoff, 17% over the last year. with a $2.46 ROI. So if you're just blindly betting, you'd be getting back a lot of your money and more, because he's hitting and he's winning with horses that are averaging $14 on the win end. So that would be kind of right in range with a horse like this, who's 8-1. So kind of similar ticket to you, George. I'll be 1, 4, 6, and 10.
Yeah, Baltus always scares me. He's just one of these trainers that, pops up when you least expect it. And, he knocked me out of a tournament I was in once, and it was like, what? 35-1, something like that. And he's a scary figure. All right, race number 7, 3 races to go. Oldie, before we get to the 7th and the last 3 races, tell me a little bit about Equine Edge.
All right, so Equine Edge it was started by former and founded by former TVG personality and our CEO, Scotty McKeever, who many of you know. And it is basically a algorithmic based system that there's about 10 different algorithms that, instead of the way DRF does it, which is great, also using speed figures that have you look at the previous races, we're trying to predict winners using predictive algorithms. And so we're taking, let's say, I'm going to use an example of race 5, Kika Ride. So we have that as 29% to win, but it doesn't match our picks algorithm. And so that there are things that, when there's multiple predictive algorithms that like a horse, the horse wins more often as well. We also have a full race simulator that allows you to remove horses that you don't like. You can add in the AEs, and it will run the race for you. And you can also go at different points of call. So you can actually visualize and see the race. And it is a separate, all these things are separate algorithms that don't know about each other. So like our breeding number, the GSR, doesn't know about the win percentage algorithm. So if you have one algorithm that's wrong, it doesn't pollute all the other algorithms. Does that make sense? So it's AI based, and it's all these different algorithms, and we use them with a ticket generator to help people make better decisions about horses, the same way a Beyer speed figure or a Thorograph is attempting to do that.
And where can they find it? Is it equineedge.com?
It is equineedge.com. You can go to equineedge.com and get 1E though, between the
1E. Okay.
Yeah. But it's 1E between, and you can get 3 races a day, free races a day, just by going to equineedge.com and clicking the sign up button. There are many different package options as well. And, they range from a single track package, a single day package, to a weekend, a month, or a year. So, and all of them feature that. They also feature something called e-analysis that I'm part of, where we write notes and analysis for most of the major tracks. I happen to do Oak Lawn. Typically, we have Mike Saletta, who's a very successful tournament player who does San Anita. Justin Sampson, who's one of my co-hosts, does Gulfstream. So we have 2022 NHC champion David Harrison, who does all the NYRA tracks. So we have a pretty extensive group of handicappers. We also have somebody based in Kentucky who raises horses, who does our Kentucky beat as well. So thank you for allowing me to explain that as well.
Yeah, I know a lot of your clients are very happy. I speak to a lot of your clients when they come here to the track, and nothing but high praise. But they want to know your analysis of race number 7 right now at Santa Anita.
All right, so race 7, I had the 3 Ms. Brightside on top. Not a genius play there with D'Amato and Rispoli aboard. I thought that there were a few options here. Again, not exactly the field that wants to win a lot of races here. I'm also using the 7, No Time for Squalls, the 5, Upcharge, who's our top pick there, and the 1, who's the Scotty Longshot there, Happy as a Clam.
All right. 3, 5, 7, and the 1 as well. Gino, how do you see race number 7?
Yeah, just to know too, like Miss Brightside actually won at this level already, but was disqualified from the purse in one of those races. So her last couple races, she's actually been facing better and now gets to come back to the level that she's already won at. And it wasn't like a DQ in the race. It was after winning the race days later in like a post-test disqualification. So it's always tough to me not to use those types of horses when they've already won at the level right back in the same spot, because one of a few horses who's already done this. Miss Brightside on the ticket for sure. I'll mention 1 or 2 that Oldie didn't. The 7 looks like the one to catch. So that's, I think, a logical player. The 6, Oratium. This horse I liked a little bit last year. She can sit close in here. And I think off the bench, if she's a little bit fresh, I could see her sitting like 3rd and being really interesting for trainer Mike McCarthy, who can certainly get horses ready to fire off the bench. And Hernandez jumps aboard. So I think this horse is live off the layoff. The one to the outside, at least can Princess Snow maybe put a little pressure on No Time for Squalls? I could see her sitting in a pretty good spot too. Second start off the bench, stretching out. She's a little bit interesting. So I'll start with the 3 and 6 is kind of my top 2, but I have a lot of 3, 6, 7, 8.
Before we leave this race, Miss Brightside, ridden by Rispoli, he continues to amaze me. What are your thoughts on him? As a grass rider, he continues to amaze me. Give me your thoughts, Gino.
I mean, he's fantastic. He's what's so impressive about him. He crushed me a couple times. I think one on a Formidable Man. I think when he was like saving ground on the rail. That's what's so impressive about him. He has no fear, right? He will duck into the inside, in between holes, and that you have to do that in grass riding much more than in dirt riding, right? And on the dirt course, you have to be able to close quickly. You have to have the split second decision making. Because again, like on dirt, you can make moves that are a little more gradual, I think, a lot of the time. But what's fascinating is like a lot of those skills I'm pointing out that Rispoli has, George, they could be very useful when he's on the Kentucky Derby favorite in about a week and a half, right? Because he may be having to make some of those split second decisions inside. Do I go wide outside? Do I want to make the move now or wait behind horses? And remember, he was supposed to be aboard Rock Your World, and that got taken away from him. So I wonder all of the emotions he must have right now, like just a week out with the horse that is over at Churchill Journalism, doing really well right now, and will, I think, undoubtedly be like head and shoulders favored above the rest of the group. I think that horse will be like 2-1 maybe, and then in that range, and we might have everybody else in the 5, 6 and above,
I like the fact that when they interview him, he doesn't hold back. I mean, he wears his on his sleeve because
I love the Italian guys.
He's Italian. Hey, forget about it. But he was like, even, I think after he won one of the races with journalism, was like, hey, look, I'm not. Hey, what do you think about your chances of the Derby? I'm not even saying I'm going to the Derby. Look what happened to me last year.
Yeah.
Like, hey, wait a second. Forget about it. All right, I like the same 3. I like 3, 5, 7. I'm going to use those 3. Moving to race number 8, the penultimate race. We'll start with you, Oldie. Talk to me about race number 8.
All right, race number 8. So I again spread here, and I used the 9 Barbara T, the 8 Wish They Could All Be Like, the 6 Miranda, and the 5 Hot Girl Walk. I thought there's a chance here that you could catch a price on the front end with, Merlinda. I can't read apparently, but or see that appears to both be the problems here. And second time back on dirt, nearly hung on and had the lead in the stretch last time out, going 6.5, shortens up half a furlong. Our breeding number says that shorten up should be good. We increase 5 points on our number there, and so may have enough to get home there. And at 15-1, on the morning line, 9-1 on our morning line. To me, that was a risk you had to take there. I had to use that horse. But I thought the 5 also as a long shot had a big look. Getting Hot Girl Walk, getting again the cutback, had the lead in the stretch, so similar things here, and got caught. But has some speed, may be able to either sit a pressing or close-up stalking trip on the 6 Melinda there, and Mirinda. I'll get it right one of these days. And has a win at Del Mar against much better than this group. We had that race as a 78 SOR, and this one is 66. So that's 12 points of what we call strength of race relief. That last race it ran in was also a stakes race. So dropping in against conditioned allowance optional claimers here, I think the 5 at 10-1 is very dangerous here.
All right, very dangerous Hot Girl Walk with Fresu also just riding fantastically. Yeah. Gino, how did you see this race?
Yeah, I think the decision you have to make in this race is what you're going to do with the 9, Barbara T. Because I think for a lot of people, this will maybe be a horse that you lean in on. It's tough because she's got a ton of talent, but both of her races that were awesome were followed by long layoffs. So she's also got a lot of physical issues too. She's training really well coming into the race. I mean, I think ceiling wise, if she shows up with anything close to that last race, I think she'll probably crush this group. But you have to ask yourself a lot of questions about her because she has not raced since April of 2024. So we're talking about Saturday, 1 day away from a full year layoff for her. So that's a long time to be away from the races, but she is one that I will start. George, I usually play 2 tickets. 1 ticket, I'll absolutely single her. Absolutely. Because there's versions of this race where she's just way better than the group. Oldie mentioned a couple of the others that would be in the radar for me, like on another ticket. That would be Wish They All Could Be, who just kind of solid at the level. You feel pretty good about the race that you're going to get from this 7-year-old mare who likes to win races. She can sit close, but she's not really got upside at this point. You kind of sort of know what you're going to get from her. The 6 Mirinda is also really quick. I thought the 1, if you're thinking about one horse that could come closing, 6 Furlongs might be a tad short. Look at who she has faced, though, this 6-year-old mare. So she wins her second start, and it's in the 4th race of her career. Following that, she hooks a horse named Crimson Rose, who wins 3 out of 4 during that stretch. In the next race, she's behind a horse named Sweet Azteca. That's a grade 1 winner, Sweet Azteca. Following that, she hooks a horse named Hope Road. That's a multiple graded stakes winner for Bob Baffert. In the next race, she loses to a horse named One Magic Philly, who comes out of that race and wins a grade 3 in her next start. So she was facing some monsters compared to this group and what she's going to be facing. I'll have 1 ticket with the 9, another one where I'm 1, 6, 8, 9.
All right. As I mentioned, love the Thoroughgraphs. So you can go to thoroughgraph.com. Just excellent. They have analysis. They have the actual data that you could purchase. And I use it every day at numerous tracks around the country. I love it. Noki, you mentioned number 1. His last 3 races, he ran a 7, a 7, and a 7. Very, very strong compared to some of these other ones. That Hot Girl Walk, pretty bad Thoroughgraph numbers, Gino, but don't tell Oldie. Okay. Keep it quiet.
If you mute him, maybe he won't hear us.
Yeah, he won't. Yeah,
so that's how it works. Exactly.
The best numbers are number 8, Wish You All Could Be. He just paired 5s, a 5 and a 5. Incredibly fast. But as you mentioned, he's consistent. Certainly you can bet him with confidence. He's going to be there. But I think that one of these is going to be a single for me. Like you mentioned, a lot of people, is going to be Barbara T. Barbara T. It's been a while, but luckily we've got, we can see workouts on XBTV, on XBTV, XB.
First Live now, right?
Right, First Live now. Oh my goodness. On April 5th, I think he was working with Feel the Magic and I'm just toyed with that runner. I mean, it was just an amazing workout. And Barbara T, she's been working out fantastic Oh, you look at the last 4 workouts, they're just stellar. So I think she's ready. I think she has plenty of upside. I think she's going to burst through that 6 that she ran at Keeneland, and that was good enough to win. So I'm going to be singling Barbara T.
Like the outside draw too, George, too, because if somebody else goes, she can sit off a little bit if she has to and then kind of move when she wants to. So, yeah, she's got a nice tab for a barn that can get her ready. She's training well. You can watch those. I think the website now that it's changed over is first.tv. If you ever want to check out those workouts, you can type in the horses and check them out. And like you said, she's working really well.
All right, before we get to the 9th race, talk to me about DRF.com and all the great stuff on the Daily Racing Forum, Gino.
Yeah, that's where you want to start when you're going to handicap the races. Get the past performances, all the data that you need. Right now is a great time. They actually have Kentucky Derby packages that are available. If you buy them early right now, you can save like almost 40% on the package, and you can actually get the full past performances for all the horses in the Derby right now. So if you want to get a little bit ahead in your handicapping, because you're going to be looking at Kentucky Oaks Day, all the undercard races, Derby Day, all those races, there are going to be a lot of races to handicap. Get a little bit ahead of the game right now. Look at those replays, the charts. You can use the DRF PPs, and that way for the Derby, all you have to do is maybe make a few adjustments when they draw the field. So get ahead of it. They've got clocker reports, betting strategies, packages for just Saturday or packages for Kentucky Oaks Friday and Saturday. So check all of those Kentucky Derby packages out at shop.drf.com.
All right, fantastic. DRF.com. That was, ever since I can remember, it's always been referred to as the Bible,
right?
The DRF. Oh, you got the Bible. Yeah, that's we can't. I love Thorough sheets. I love them. But I can't do them without in combination with the DRF. I need that DRF. I need to see how the race is gonna unfold, and you see that perfectly with the Racing Form. And how do you see the 9th race? Here we go. What are you going with, Gino?
Yep, 3 horses that were on my radar in here. I think the 6 is probably the one to beat. George, I think you and I did the show last time when Garden Party was in there, and I liked this horse at the end, and she ran well. She just it was her first time going long. I think she was a little bit farther back than maybe they would have liked. She just got going a little bit late, but I think it was a good effort. Second start now going long. That guy that you and I were talking about, Rispoli. And I love betting Leonard Powell runners because they're generally under the radar and great prices too. And he always has his horses ready to fire really big races. So I think that's the horse to beat. 2 others that I'll use along with the 9, Say Bella. The dam was a grade 3 winner going 1 mile and a 16th, never turfed, but as far as distance is concerned, should be able to get the extra distance here, no problem. The one I think's a kind of an interesting horse, maybe that won't be on as many tickets, is the 2 Bougie Like, who down towards the inside could be on the lead and has really good early speed. So in career start number 2, she went 1 mile on the turf at Santa Anita. She was 7.5 to 1, and she just missed that day. She was only beaten a neck. That was probably the best race that any horse in this field has ever run. Since then, she had some issues along the way. The next race she was in was a race taken off the turf. She didn't run well. And following that, in her next start on the grass, that race, she had some trouble. And then she had almost over a year layoff. So you got to be a little forgiving because the race before the layoff, she obviously had some physical issue. The race coming back from the layoff, she ran like you figured. She popped, she stopped, she was tired. Now she could be a lot fitter. Second start back with Maldonado aboard down on the inside. I think the game plan is going to be go, 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 try to hold that inside position. So I'm going to throw the 2 in as well because I don't want to be 5 for 5 and this horse has 2 lengths on the field turning for home, Georgie. So 2, 6, and 9 for me.
You think Maldonado's good with horses on the lead?
I heard something about that.
You heard something about that?
I think
really? So. I'm gonna use the 3 and the 9 in my tickets. OK Rose, you had some problems in that last race. I know it's been a while, but Urton is great with these type of layoffs, and he's got some strong numbers. And the 9, Say Bella, really had some big time problems last time out. And I think he's going to appreciate the extra distance for sure. Before we get to your picks in the 9th, Oldie, Saturday, I know you looked at the card. Man, I'm looking forward to Eagles Flight against Miramati. Talk to me about what are your thoughts on Eagles Flight?
All right, give me a sec here to pull this up. But let's see, against
I think
Eagles.
it's race 4, if I'm not mistaken.
That
It's
makes
just
sense.
it's one of the races I'm looking forward to seeing because I think Eagles Flight is a future superstar. But then Miramati, not consistent, but every now and then throws in a monster.
And Miramati's beat Eagles Flight previously when they matched up.
The only loss,
before,
right?
Yeah.
Before, and kind of has maybe a little bit of a tactical advantage because that's the thing with Miramati, right, George, that he has to go. And they've said that. Like, he can't be taken back a little bit. He doesn't want to sit behind horses. Even if you see him going really fast early, that's better than if he was going slow, sitting behind other horses. That's just the way he has to go.
All right. So, in what I see here, I see a lot of speed signed on here. And I think there's a good possibility that Miramati, if Miramati breaks slow like Miramati kind of tends to, kind of lethargically coming out of the gate, I think you could end up with a pace duel with the 2-1 and the 4 possibly there as well in Midnight Mammoth. And I think this sets up pretty well for Eagles Flight. Again, scratches could happen, but Midnight Mammoth looks like, the best version of Midnight Mammoth wants to go fast and go long. So Midnight Mammoth should be able to run all day here, just whether Midnight Mammoth can keep up with Miramati. So, and for All Mankind, kind of needs to run that way too and be close to the pace. Really is only 1 on the lead. So I just think that Eagles Flight might get the right setup today. And that doesn't mean that he's better than Miramati. It just means that this group of horses might just be the right group for Eagles Flight to get revenge for that loss.
Yeah, I think so. I'm looking forward to seeing that race just from a fan point of view. I don't think I'm going to be betting much money in that race but as a fan, I definitely want to see that. Last race, your anchor leg of your pick 6. What do you tell me about race number 9, Oldie?
All right, so I'm going to again go opposite in a way here, and I'm going to single in the last here, and I'm going to go with Garden Party, who we have as the top win percentage, top Scotty pick here. And I just think that potentially what I'm seeing in the race sim as well, that this race is going to kind of flow to Garden Party instead of some of these races that have flown away. I don't think there's enough speed for OK Rose there to get up, which has been OK Rose's problem. I do want to say, though, excellent point on the 2 as well there, because if the 8 Miss Mackenzie scratches there's nobody else that I see there that could go with the 2, and that would cause me to add to my ticket if Miss Mackenzie scratches.
Gino, it never, ever scares me to bet a horse who showed really good speed and then stops. Whether he loses, people go, that horse lost by 30 lengths. That don't mean nothing. It means 0.
Because the key is if they show the speed at all, right? Not even the finish of the race, because that's what we're betting on, is just them showing that speed in a race that could be way better suited for them to hold on late. That was one thing I learned early on from Matt Carruthers watching TVG back in the day, who I worked with. He was great at finding horses that would be able to get the lead and that people were just dismissed because they were beaten like 30 lengths, right? But the key was they were in a tough race. Maybe they were sprinting and now they're stretching out. Find reasons why you might think those horses are up front, especially if they're a long shot. You don't want a long shot that's going to be dead last. At least you get a run for your money with the horse that's a decent price up front.
And as a jockey agent, I was a jockey agent for like 7 years. Once a jockey knows that he's not going to win the race, they don't persevere because you don't want to do that to the horse, and the owners appreciate that. You don't want to be okay. You want to lose by 7 lengths instead of 20 lengths. There's no difference there at all. So save that horse. Next time he's going to get brave. And I love betting horses that show speed. And the more they lose by, the better, because people dismiss those type of runners. So I certainly can see Boogie doing good. And I like what you guys brought to the table today. Thank you both very, very much. Hopefully, we'll see you next week. Quick final thoughts before we go, Gino.
Yeah, I feel bad for anybody that's not a fan of mine because I'm on the preview show here with you today, Georgie. Tomorrow night with Chappie and with Oldie, I think we're going to be previewing the Friday or the Saturday late pick 5.
Great.
Then on Saturday, I'm actually Tom Quigley's guest doing the preview show at Santa Anita. So if you don't like me, I apologize. You're going to be having a lot of Gino on Friday, Saturday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday this week.
I like you quite a lot.
Thank you, Georgie.
Oldie, any last words?
Well, first of all, I want to say go Cubs. I don't have Chappie here, but we would have been celebrating the last couple days. With that little needling all done, I'm looking forward to being on with Gino tomorrow. We have the Stretch Run, which is our flagship show on Saturday. We'll be covering Gulfstream, Santa Anita, Laurel, Woodbine, all live with video. Please join us on the YouTubes as they're known, and we look forward to that and lots of Derby coverage. Going to be a great week. I will be traveling, but if anybody needs me, the people who are in our WhatsApp chat always know where to find me. So anybody that's an open chat to anybody who loves handicapping and horse racing, because we talk horses pretty much 24/7. We even have people playing Australia and Hong Kong in there.
Terrific. All right. Thank you guys very much. Please, I encourage you guys to come out to Santa Anita tomorrow if you can. If not, play that pick 6. It's certainly worth it with that carryover of over $68,000. It could be close to or around $500,000. A great day to play. Thank you, gentlemen. We'll see you next time.
Good luck, everyone.
Thank you, George.
Thank you.